In today's video, we will be putting Nanoslic on my windshield. And now the goal here is pretty simple, similar to any sort of Rain-X product or any ceramic coating product. When you do not have that on the surface of your car or windshield, a bead of water will sit like this. There's nothing to repel it, so it'll sit with maximum surface area touching whatever surface it is on. Now, when you add in some form of coating, like Nanoslic or some other ceramic coating, what you will get is this boundary layer that basically pushes off or repels some form of liquid, in most cases water, from sticking to the surface. That way, if it is a slant like a windshield, there's less friction pushing back on or holding onto that bead of water, keeping it from sticking onto the material, so it makes it much easier to slide off. Alright, so now to start, we got our hose. Let's go ahead and clean off just the regular windshield as it is. Alright, so the windshield is all cleaned up. There's a couple of rock chips that you'll see, but other than that, all the specks are off of the windshield. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to do half the windshield with the hydrophobic coating and then leave the other half. And then we're going to do a spray down test and see which side repels water better. And then just to give some additional details to this experiment, it is 81 degrees outside. It's about 8 o'clock with about 68% humidity. So we're going to go ahead and put the coating on with that being the ambient temperature. I'm sure if you were to read into the label, it would probably say 70 degrees with sub 50% humidity, but these are the conditions we got. Alright, so we are about to apply the Nanoslic, and reading through the instructions, you can either spray this product, you can dip the product, or wipe it with a cloth. I'm going to use a paintbrush and just paint that half of the windshield. Okay, so we are about 3/4 of the way done, and what we're seeing is these streaks. See how cloudy it is to look through that glass? And you come down here and it's super clear. So we're too far in now. We're just gonna go for it. Alright, so we just wrapped it up, and you can kind of see the streaks right in there in comparison to this side of the windshield. So then I guess if this does not work and I've Nanoslicked my windshield and it does not come off, we may need a new windshield. And so now to give you an idea of what the windshield looks like on the inside, this is what we've got. So I've rendered it pretty terrible. You can kind of see the difference here. How clear this is to see out of, and how, I wouldn't say opaque, but definitely textured. Now for driver safety, thinking about it here, I think we're just going to remove some of it. We'll leave some up on the top, which I'm not too concerned with, but we're going to pull some off. We're going to continue the trial. And now in this scenario, I believe a razor blade is going to be our best friend, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you what it is that I'm trying to do here. So we'll kind of cut it right up here, and you can kind of see how goopy this stuff is. I'll cut it somewhere up here, whatever I feel comfortable with. And after you do a couple of rows, this is about what you get. It's all that material as it starts to dry, and it almost feels like a foam. Alright, so now you can kind of see some of the mayhem that's left on the windshield. This is what I've pulled off of the blade. See, again, just kind of like that foamy material. We've got about 6 to 8 inches left up here. Goes to about here. Might take off just a little bit more just to make it a little bit more safe, but then we'll wrap it up. Alright, now this is about what we're left with is, yeah, probably about 6 inches. And then the rest of the windshield I have cleaned off, so that's good. So now we're going to give it about 3 days to bake on and reach its maximum hardness, and then we'll give it the spray down test. Now it's been about a week, and that has given plenty of time for the product to cure, so you can kind of see it right here. Here's the line. And it is pretty hard, scratch resistant to my fingernails at least. So now we're going to give it the water test. So just kind of looking down at the top, I really don't know if there is any significant or notable difference here. This is the untreated side, so you can actually see for the most part it's dry. You can see some of the beads of water that have gone down. And then this is the treated surface, which it's kind of hard to tell because you can see the Nanoslic on the windshield, but for the most part it's dry as well, so there's no real notable difference. Alright, that is going to wrap it up. In the end, no real difference using the Nanoslic NS200, and it's nothing on the product. This is supposed to serve for multiple different surface types, and it's typically only good for a 12-month shelf life. I've had this for 3 years, so it wasn't necessarily the best setup, but I still wanted to see if it would work. Now, Nanoslic does offer a product, NS1500, that is designed for phone and tablet surfaces, so maybe that would be a better product to test on a windshield. They also have a lot of different other products that you can use on varying different surfaces, but for me, I think I'm just going to stick with the regular windshield and maybe test a Rain-X product or some other water-resistant product that is designed for windshields in the future. So with that, I'll catch you in the next one. We're just gonna go with the first. We're gonna go with the first clip instead. Oh, got some smoothie. I have unwillingly given up 3 pints of blood to the local mosquito community. What up, Whit?